Well, it's official. Elon Musk and the X Corporation Twitter group are apparently sending a letter that is very reminiscent of a cease and desist letter here, even though those words don't appear to be used, at least upon my first reads here, to Facebook for basically launching threads and potentially deliberately using employees that used to work at Twitter and copying what Twitter calls trade secrets. Now, we've just been doing a little bit of looking around this, and I'll read some more context of the letter here, and we'll get into some details. But Twitter does open source some of their technology and some of their code. Of course, they're alleging in their letter that they have trade secrets and other IP that Facebook might be using or infringing on. Yesterday was a big running joke after Threads launched that, hey, this looks oddly similar to Twitter. And I mean, it frankly does. When you click on Threads in Threads, the comment button looks almost the same. The retweet button just says repost. It's almost like it's just a Twitter copy with the small little edit where you can't post long-form videos and you don't have spaces, but otherwise everything else is the same. Now, I will say the linking to Instagram functionality, fantastic, and maybe there'll be some ad potential for the platform. This morning, the Financial Times reported that 10 million users had already signed up. Zuck then later followed up and said, no, we're actually at already 30 million users. And so, sure enough, here we go. Now that users are signing up for it, it looks like X is sending a letter. So we'll read some details of this. Keep in mind, I'm in Utah right now. We're looking to explore we are exploring real estate. So forgive me for filming while we're on the road here. This just broke. So it says here, Dear Mr. Zuckerberg, this is the law firm for Musk and X.com. I write on behalf of the X Corp, the successor in interest to Twitter, based on recent reports regarding your recently launched Threads app. And I want to know what these recent reports are, mind you. So based on recent reports, like what? Mainstream allegations of copycatting? I mean, I've been posting those tweets like all day long. But anyway, based on recent reports regarding your recently launched Threads app, Twitter has serious concerns that Meta has engaged in systemic, willful, and unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other IP. Over the past year, Meta has hired dozens of former Twitter employees. Well, Twitter did lay off like 80% of their staff, so in fairness, they're going to apply somewhere else. But anyway, Twitter knows that these employees previously worked at Twitter, that these employees had and continue to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information, that these employees owe obligations to Twitter, and that many of these employees have inappropriately retained Twitter documents and electronic devices. So this is basically to say that people got laid off. They probably still had to maybe train their successors or other remaining employees, and therefore still have administrative logins at Twitter and access to company code, files, new features, internal communications. And this document is essentially alleging that those people who are still sort of in flux of basically getting fired are looting Twitter as they're walking out of what some describe as a burning building. But anyway, with that knowledge, Meta deliberately assigned these employees to develop, in a matter of months, Meta's copycat Threads app with the specific intent to use Twitter's trade secrets and other IP. Well, duh. In order to accelerate the development of Meta's competing app in violation of both federal and state law, or these employee obligations. Now, I suppose this is where is it illegal to write your own code and make something that is similar, but then your own product? Or are people potentially literally just copy and pasting trade secrets? And this obviously would turn into if it became a legal battle, which this isn't a lawsuit. Cease and desist is just potentially, honestly, a way to market the fight between Elon Musk and Zuck. At least that's what some people are saying. This is just a marketing opportunity. It's just going to bring more attention to both Twitter and Facebook. Everybody's going to pick their sides. These people are going to support Zuck. These people are going to support Elon. Elon can do no wrong kind of people go crazy here. Anyway, and it'll really be years before any kind of patent or trademark litigation, or not trademark, IP litigation ever, honestly, ever even gets underway. This stuff is so difficult, and these cases take forever to litigate. But anyway, over the past year, the document alleges here that Meta has hired dozens of former Twitter employees, and that Meta has expressly been prohibited from engaging in any kind of crawling or scraping activities from Twitter data, but basically that the employees are doing that anyway. And that they outline here that the only way you can look at data is if you follow the rules under the robot.txt file, twitter.com/robot.txt. Scraping any Twitter service is expressly prohibited for any reason without Twitter's prior consent, and Meta is specifically exempted, or not exempted, I should say, is specifically prohibited from being anyone who gets permission to crawl Twitter's data. And so then they conclude the letter by saying, please consider this letter formal notice that Meta must preserve any documents that could be relevant to a dispute between Twitter, Meta, and or Twitter employees. Honestly, what this is also is it's an attempt to send sort of a warning flag or like a warning shot to the employees who left Twitter. And it's kind of a way to induce anxiety and stress into those now fired or laid off employees to basically say, hey, stop using our stuff. Otherwise, we're going to sue you. That's basically what this letter is. Whether it actually practically makes any difference or turns into any kind of practical lawsuit, or is it going to lead to any changes? The answer to all of those are probably no. And certainly the answer is no for any kind of near-term future change. It's not like anybody actually expects Threads to change tomorrow because they got a letter here. All these companies have staff attorneys, and they'll just send letters back and forth. It'll all just be a bunch of nonsense. But the drama is real, and in my opinion, it's great marketing for the fight between Musk and Zuckerberg. But again, practically here, is the Threads app basically a copycat? Yes. Is there probably going to be anything that comes out of it within the next 3 years? No. Could something come out in the future after that? Maybe, but who cares? Anyway, that gives you an update on some of the drama that's going on. I did find one of the replies kind of entertaining. Somebody wrote, if Threads breaks every day, then Twitter definitely has a strong case. In other words, if Meta copy and pasted the code from Twitter and both of them suck, then yeah, you got a strong case. Such a diss. But also great comedy found on Twitter, not on Threads, because there's no comedy yet on Threads. None at all. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.